Dead by Daylight is getting an official horror movie. I know you got a lot of questions like,
how do you even know that we are getting a horror movie? When are we getting this movie? What is it gonna be about? How big is your cock?
It's 6.5 inches. But now let's talk about the official Dead by Daylight movie, and let me tell you why this is the best thing that has happened to this game. But before that, smack that subscribe button if you want me to stick my big penis up your dad's butthole. Okay, so recently Dead by Daylight posted this on their Twitter page. Atomic Monster and Blumhouse, or Blumhouse, I don't know how do you pronounce this.
Blumhouse, 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 Blumhouse
are teaming up with Behaviour to bring Dead by Daylight out of the fog and onto the big screen. In other words, we are getting a movie. Which is weird because a movie or a TV show based on Dead by Daylight is something that I have personally asked developers to make like a while ago, and I could never even dream of this becoming reality, but here we are, everything is possible. And Dead by Daylight is a perfect foundation for a movie. It has so much of lore, and you know, we can't really experience it because the gameplay loop is repetitive. In the past I even made a video about Dead by Daylight being boring because this game is technically a boring game. There's nothing beyond one old and repetitive game mode where you basically need to repair generators and escape, or as a killer you just need to kill 4 survivors. And we have never got anything else beyond that. While most of the other popular games on the market, they got something beyond their repetitive gameplay loop. For example, League of Legends has their TV show Arcane, which is amazing, and I love how Arcane expands the lore of League of Legends in a positive way. And I believe that Dead by Daylight deserves more than a movie. I believe that in one movie we can't see everything that's possible with Dead by Daylight. I believe that if we get a movie, there has to be a sequel. That's why personally I would prefer a TV show based on Dead by Daylight, but hey, movie is way better than nothing. And why I think that this is a perfect thing for Dead by Daylight, first of all, is that Dead by Daylight has a perfect lore. I mean, we got so many different characters, so many survivors, and so many different killers. Each one of them has different backstory, which, you know, nobody is really interested in reading about them. So there is no better way than make a movie about those characters and show how amazing Dead by Daylight's lore is. Except for the new killer. The school merchant has a terrible lore, and I really hope that this new Dead by Daylight movie will not be based on the school merchant. But knowing that Dead by Daylight developers like to introduce terrible killers into the game but make them thick as fuck, for example the school merchant, so players buy this chapter, I would not be surprised if we get a movie about school merchant and they make her look sexy and thick as fuck, so all of the horny teenagers will give this movie a positive review. But I really hope that's not the case. But behind this movie we got Blumhouse and Atomic Monster, and these are two extremely successful and popular horror movie production companies. For example, from them we got classic movies like Annabelle, The Conjuring, even Halloween franchise with Michael Myers. And that's not everything. Get Out was produced by Blumhouse, and it's hard to believe that companies like this, and not one company but 2 of them, are willing to collaborate with a video game company, Behaviour, to create an official Dead by Daylight movie based on Dead by Daylight characters. And I believe that we will get a movie based on some sort of an original character, maybe multiple characters, but I don't believe that much of Dead by Daylight's lore will be explored in the movie because this game just has too much of it. This game has too much of lore. That's why I believe this movie will need a sequel and then another sequel and then another sequel, and I really hope that this movie movie will not be a disappointment, because most movies based on video games are trash. I'm gonna be honest. Just take a look at Resident Evil movies. They are terrible. Resident Evil video games, they are great. They got so many fans all over the world. But movies and TV series, they are trash. Just like the majority of movies based on video games. So I really hope that this is not gonna be the case with Dead by Daylight's movie, and it really depends on what Dead by Daylight developers want to do with the movie. If they select a right character or right multiple characters for this movie, they can make a masterpiece of a movie, because some of the killers, for example, have an amazing lore. Take, for example, the Hag, or I would say the Trickster has a good lore. The Doctor would be a great character. The Spirit would be my favorite one. So if these are the characters, I believe that Dead by Daylight developers could create like a classic horror movie. Imagine Dead by Daylight movie being up there with movies like Hellraiser, The Shining, Halloween, like the most of the most classic horror movies. Like, I would be like laughing my ass off, but at the same time, I would be really happy with that, because Dead by Daylight is one of my favorite games. There was a time when Dead by Daylight was my all-time favorite game. Developers just let me down, but I love Dead by Daylight, I really do. So when will we see Dead by Daylight movie? That's the question. And I don't believe we will see it anytime soon, because just now we got an announcement that there will be, like, this movie will be made someday, but we are not sure when we will get it, and we will get a trailer sometime before that. So I believe that at least a year from now, we will get a trailer, and the official release date is gonna be either 2024 or 2025. That's my prediction. Also, think about how many new players Dead by Daylight will get after this horror movie. Like, so many horror fans that are watching all of these scary movies, they are not even aware of the existence of Dead by Daylight. And if they like this movie, they will naturally want more of it. And there's plenty of that. Just download this game called Dead by Daylight, and I believe that the future of Dead by Daylight is extremely bright, and this movie will expand the lifespan of this game significantly. Like, I thought that this game will not die 50 years after today, but if the movie does well, if the movie is successful, I believe that this game will not die 100 years after today. You can call me crazy if you want, I am crazy, but comment what do you think. I'm extremely excited about this. I believe it's extremely positive news, and we will see. I hope Behaviour will not fuck it up, because most of the time they do fuck it up. So please don't do it. Please don't disappoint my little heart and my hard cock. Thank you very much, and I'll see you later. Ciao.